One of the interesting things about schools is we must be one of the last service providers to ask our consumers, how's this working for you? We've tended to think of them as children and therefore not having an opinion that's worthwhile listening to. And so what we do as teachers in the past is deliver what we know is really important for kids to know and understand. In the 21st century, there's much more of a power sharing arrangement between adolescents and their adults in a school community. And so it's really important that as part of that power sharing, we're actually asking them about how's the learning going for them. The other type of feedback, and this is the one I particularly want to focus on, is working with students to get their feedback on how well the learning design that the teacher has chosen is actually working for them as learners. So it's a really important question to say to students, I can design this learning in lots of different ways. I'm designing this learning to get the best outcomes for you. Give me feedback in terms of, have I nailed it? And in order to make that work, you can't just rock into a class and ask a group of adolescents about that. What really needs to happen is you need students to understand really clearly, why are they being asked this information and what are you going to do with it? Because adolescents are generally pretty wary about adults asking them for feedback and then doing nothing with it. So it's really important that students understand that when they give you as the teacher their feedback, you will then talk with them about the feedback and if necessarily adjust your teaching practice, your learning design, or explain to them why it's not possible to do that and then how you can achieve the outcome they want you to achieve, perhaps by a different method. We have a consistent set of questions here at our school that we ask students. We usually collect the information by online programs and we ask students to identify themselves. So it's not an anonymous piece of feedback. It's actually me saying to my teacher, this bit's working for me, but that bit's not working. It was really interesting at the beginning of this process. We had pushback from some of our staff members who were really clear that they'd done 4 years of university and why would they be asking a 15-year-old about their learning design and their teaching practice. It took a while for people to understand that you weren't asking the 15-year-old about your teaching practice or your learning design. What you were asking them about is, how is this working for them? And in terms of them as a learner, they are the expert in terms of how well is this working for them as a learner.